So Russ, before we sort of get into the new lads we've signed, I want to sort of talk about the lads we've retained. Are you satisfied with who we've kept and who's gone?
Yeah, at the end of the day, James, we actually told the lads at the end of the season every player would be welcome back. So it wasn't a matter of we've turned around and said we're going to let you go, Every player was welcome, and they deserved it to be with us for this year. At the end of the day, then, when you sit down and have meetings with the players and we have a chat with them, talk about what we're looking at for the next year and trying to do an agreement with it, sometimes it doesn't work out, and some of the younger lads obviously want to play more. And that's what happens with Callum and Jake and people like that. And that's what happens. Obviously, everybody knows we spoke to Danico. It is what it is. We couldn't agree, and we have to move on. And obviously, we wish Danico all the best. But that's not happened. And then obviously, Lewis Baker. Unfortunately, Lewis can't commit. We need people who have to commit for us for training, for games. He's gone away now to see if things change. If not, obviously, we have to carry on.
Yeah, so now shifting to the new players, how did you two go about making your signings? Did you sort of have a set list of players that you wanted to go after sort of at the end of the season? Or was
come the end of the season, we did have targets that we was going to go for, and I think all the targets that we went for have actually come to us, so it's quite pleasing really. So, we're really happy with what we've signed. Likes of Jardine, Josh, and people like that we're really happy with.
Now, there's sort of one player that's caught my eye, I know a few of the fans' eyes, Dante. He's quite a young lad, so what do you expect him to bring to the squad next season?
Dante it was a player that we looked at last year. I've seen him, obviously we played twice and he done really well twice against us, and then we've seen him play a few times. I think he's got a big future in the game, still only young, he's just gone 17. But listen, at the end of the day, it isn't about age, it's about if you come and make a stamp, pre-season comes along, you get your chance and you get in the team. That's how it is. It doesn't matter what age, whether you're 17 or 32. It doesn't matter for us. And as Darren's just said, we've signed some good players. We're happy with our business in pre-season. We was always going to add to the squad. We're going up a tougher league. It's going to be hard. We're going to go to places we don't know. But we're happy that the signings we've made and we've had a good pre-season.
Daz, I just want to touch on again the new lads, but how have you gone about it with the new signings? Have you sort of looked for players that are different to what you already had? So you play different styles?
We've looked at players that will fit into our team, that we think that'll do good for us, like fit in, and like obviously the likes of Jardine and that they will fit in. So Josh, they're proven goal scorers, they're proven players. Do you know what I mean? So hopefully they can step up and go along. The likes of the younger lads, they just can come along and prove themselves at a good club.
And what we wanted to do, Owen, is that me and Dad sat down and said, what do we need? And it wasn't about, let's be honest, we had some goal scorers all over the park, from Lyso, Carzo, Danico, James Harrison. We had them all over the pitch, which was great. But we sat down and said, what do we need as a squad to be good, to be able to compete? And we went across. We went across as in signing defenders, signing midfielders, signing strikers, and that's how we look at it. That we've got a good, solid, strong squad going into the new season.
I think we're going to need that big squad for the amount of games we're going to be playing over the season, because there's going to be 5 cup competitions plus the league. So we are going to need a big squad.
But though you sort of talked about the competition we're in there, we're going to need a big squad. But how important is the squad to stay fit to be able to play all those games?
Totally. Listen, there's no hidden thing. Is that when we put a squad together, we went for experience. Some older lads, it's no lie, they're still fit, still done a brilliant job. But time moves on, and the lads that we have signed lately have been from the age of 17, I think, to 25 was the oldest. And that's how we've looked at it. And obviously, we're going to have to be fitter. We're going to have to be fitter because the teams we're playing against are going to be fitter, and that's the way we go up. Obviously, our aim as a club is to get as high as we can over a number of years, and the higher we go, we'd have to look at it again. But that's life, James, and we know when we come back the 24th, we've got to work hard to be ready for, I think it's the 26th of July.
So again, going back to you mentioning there about your player ages 17 to 25, was that sort of part of your remit as well when you went about pre-season, thinking that you needed to sort of complement those experienced players with some younger legs?
Yeah, we did one. Obviously, we're not just looking at building a side. We haven't sat down and gone, we're going to build a side to compete this year. We're talking about, let's talk about the next few years. We've got a project at this club, as you all know, and we want to grow with the club, and we have to have some younger players that are going to want to be here for years to come. So it's a coincidence we haven't sat down and gone, who's the youngest players around. We've looked at players that we wanted to sign, and then obviously we've sat down and looked at everything about that as a player, and that's everything about, as Darren said, whether they fit into what we're about, whether they fit into what we've already got, because it is important. You can't bring players in that aren't going to fit into the squad we've got, because the family, the way they are, they're a tight-knit squad, and it's important that they fit into that. And I really believe with Issa coming in now and Kai, I think the lads will all fit into our squad.
And finally, Daz, I just want to touch on aims for the season. I know you know quite well the name Nuneaton Town and what it brings and the eyes that it brings, but obviously this is a different entity of the club. Some fans will be thinking, oh, are we going to go challenge? Are we aiming for promotion straight away? Some fans will be thinking mid-table they'll be happy with, but as a management team, have you sort of set yourself a target?
Yeah, we'll always set our targets, but that'll be between us two, do you know what I mean? So our targets will always be aimed high, do you know what I mean? So, you know, the supporters and people, they'll always aim high. So, listen, we're going into a new league. I don't know nothing about it. Russell don't. No one knows the team. Do you know what I mean? So, you know, it just see how it goes.
And the thing is, with what Darren's saying is bang on, because we always build a squad from the day we got offered the job. If I'm honest, it went better than we thought. We built a squad to compete. We set our own targets between us, having a beer and having a chat what we want to get out of it. But we built a squad to compete, and we're doing the same. The good thing in this year, I'll be honest, if you noticed us last year, is we have to be more professional ourselves, and what I mean by that is tactically. We can get out and see games, we can get out and see who we're playing. We've got players now in our squad that we can play 4-4-3, 3-5-2, 4-3-3, 4-3-1-2. Do you know what I mean? 4-4-2. We've got the options now in our squad. We can play what we need to do to win a game.
We will be analysing a lot of games and things like that, seeing the opposition and things like that. We'll be working a lot harder than last year, let's put it that way.
Well, lads, thank you for your time today and all the best for the season.
Thanks, guys.
Cheers, mate.